Bam. Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. You guys know what we're doing. We talking boxing, but let me kick this thing off by saying it's a beautiful day. Thank you, God, for giving us another one. Yes, sir. And let me just say, shout out to everybody who's already tuning in. Salute, side in the building, Toy Mafia, Young Guns. What's the deal, my peoples? Yes, sir. Pugilism in the building. Marie, what's up? Check out, and this is how we're going to kick it off right away. Check out the pound for pound list, my peoples. Whoa, I got to say right away, man, everybody deserves to be there. Come on now. The newest person on the block, the newest G on the block, Navarrete, who slid in there in the number 10 spot. Number 9, Oscar Collazo. Number 8, Devin Haney. Number 7, David Benavidez. 6, Junto Nakatani. 5, Dimitri Bivol. 4, Jesse Bam Rodriguez. 3, Shakur Stevenson. 2, Munguia Inoue. 1, Alexander Usyk. Heck of a pound for pound list, my peoples. Come on now. You can't knock anybody. There's not a single fighter on that list that you could look at and say, nah, he should not be there. There's not a single fighter on that. Come on now. Let that sizzle in your spirit, my peoples. Everybody on that list should be on that list. And I spoke about this yesterday. And I want to point it out right now. Alexander Usyk, who's the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world, I don't know if that spot might be in jeopardy. And I say that because he's about to fight a cherry next. So Usyk is going to get a cherry. And you guys know, now you know we're going to fight Junto Nakatani, potentially the toughest fight of his career. And what makes it a big deal, my peoples, Junto Nakatani is number 6 on the pound for pound list. Number 6, my peoples. So for those who don't believe in Nakatani, who don't understand how good he actually is, the proof is in the pudding. Number 1, the resume, of course. But he a pound for pound fighter, my people. You really gonna question it? You think people just get put on the pound for pound list? Now, let this sizzle in your spirit, right? Junto Nakatani on the pound for pound list, he's ahead of David Benavidez, Devin Haney, Oscar Collazo, and of course, Emmanuel Navarrete, who just got on the pound for pound list. That's how good Junto Nakatani actually is, my peoples. Come on, man. 2 left hooks. Yes, everyone on the list deserves to be there. I just don't agree with the order. What will you change? Who will you move up or down? Young Guns. I'd go Usyk, Inoue, Bivol, Bam, Shakur, Benavidez, Devin, Junto, Morataya, Benavidez. Man, Young Guns, I don't know how you putting Morataya in there, man. I don't know how you got that. I got respect for Morataya. He's already accomplishing. But golly, bro, every single person on this list is Morataya. Every single one. 2 left hooks, salute, my peoples. The letter M-I, side, just overrated on that list. The assassin, bam! Smash that like button, my peoples. We on it. That pound for pound list, man, that top 10 right now is swift. It's a real good pound for pound list. You got to respect it. Side, Loso Hernandez. The letter M, Nakatani, gonna knock Inoue the F out. Ooh, and you see, Inoue's the favorite. A lot of people saying Inoue's gonna wash him. They're focusing on that performance that Nakatani had in his last fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm telling you, I feel like Nakatani has what it takes to dethrone the monster. However, I'm not making a prediction because I know what the monster brings to the table. Don't get it twisted. Hold on. Hold your horses. I'm not saying the monster's going to lose this fight. But I am telling you, it's without a doubt going to be the toughest fight of his career. Remember the first fight between the monster and Nonito Donaire? You saw how that played out, right? Young Guns, Inoue beats Junto. He'll have to be pound for pound, I think. I spoke about that earlier. Hey, let that sizzle in your spirit. Let it marinate. Let Alexander Usyk is going to fight a kickboxing dude. A kickboxing dude, my peoples. Meanwhile, Naoya Inoue is going to fight the guy who's ranked number 6 on the pound-for-pound list. So guess what? Yes, Inoue's going to number 1. I'm telling you this right now. Let that sizzle in your spirit. You know when Jay Stradamus speaks, it's a done deal. If, because I'm not making a prediction, right? If Naoya Inoue wins, he will overtake Alexander Usyk for the number 1 pound-for-pound spot in the world. I said it. Martin Schofield, thoughts on McGregor versus Diaz 3? Honestly, I'm not interested. I think that they both watched. It could be entertaining maybe, but they watched. And it's not boxing. The Assassin, Jay Smith, when Nakatani falls like a racimo de plátano, I don't want to hear anything. Whoa, that's how you think you're going to go down? Just, you're going to collapse? Golly. Plátanos all over the place. The letter M. Yeah. But the pyramids, Young Guns, Martin Schofield, this a boxing channel, bro. I mean, I figure when you see Boxing for Breakfast, people would have realized that, but it could be confusing at times, I guess. My peoples. Jaime Munguia is it looks like he's already finalizing a fight with Resendez. This is a tough fight, gentlemen. Gentlemen, this is a tough fight. And I'm going to show you. In case you're not familiar with Resendez, I actually watched him for the first time when he fought Jarrett Hurd. And he went in there to lose. This was a massive upset. He beat him up. Massive upset. I'm like, oh shit, this Resendez guy can fight. Golly. That's what we doing it these days? Okay, you're not understanding that this is about boxing. Take a 24-hour break, come back tomorrow and talk boxing. But my people, when I watched this fight, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This dude can fight. But after that fight, I'm going to remind you, Resendez also faced Caleb Sweet Hand Plant. And guess what? He put the sweet hands on Plant, my peoples. Got sweet on him. The Assassin. How does dude get UFC and boxing confused? Mango, I'm dead. Oh, you're como racimo mango. You down and out. Because that shit ain't going back up. That shit, once it's down, it's down. The Assassin, Jay Smith. Get him the F out of here. He caught a little 24 hours. He could come back tomorrow, talk boxing. You know, stop with the goofballery. But again, my peoples, Jaime Munguia has a tough opponent in front of him. Don't let that sizzle in your spirit because he could be headed for an upset. Jaime Munguia could be headed for his second L with Resendez. So he got a tough opponent. And you know what? I like to see this. I like this. And I'll tell you why. Jaime Munguia, obviously, you know, a few fights back, got his ass kicked by Canelo Alvarez, made to look like a Wendy's burger flipper. And he came back, won his last fight, and now he got a tough opponent in front of him. I like to see that because these are the type of opponents that really do set you up for that title fight. The Assassin, That's a tough fight. Resendez ain't no joke. That whole card is stacked. And the thing about Resendez is that he's going to be the guy with the faster hands in the ring. He has a high punch output. So Munguia, he cannot allow Resendez to dictate the pace, because if he does that, he could very well get cooked. The letter M, a burrito roller. Young Guns. Isn't this the guy Jermall Charlo was supposed to fight? I think Jermall Charlo was supposed to... No, Jermell. Not Jermall. I think Jermell... Was it Jermall or Jermell? I don't remember. One of them two was supposed to fight him. But Munguia got a tough opponent in front of him, my peoples. Let's see if he could get past him. Let's see if he can do it. Sir, it was Jermall. Man, he may have dodged a bullet. And my peoples, who's back in training? Who's back in the gym? Who's preparing to be back in action? Saul Canelo Alvarez, my peoples. There you go. Canelo Alvarez is gonna be back in action soon, potentially in September. And you guys know Jay Stradamus is gonna predict the future for you and tell you what's gonna happen. It's been some time since I've started telling you guys that Canelo Alvarez is gonna end up in the ring with this dude. Now, when did I start to tell you that Canelo Alvarez was going to end up fighting Mbili? Well, the moment they said Mbili was being elevated to WBC champion. You guys know the drill. Mauricio the goofball Sulaiman wants Canelo to have that green belt. So the moment Mbili was elevated, I said, yeah. Yep, Canelo's going to get this fight. My bet said it. Canelo's going to get this fight. So, look at this. Just so that you know, and let's be clear about this, this fight has not been announced. Nothing is official about this fight. But I'm telling you it's going to happen. I'm telling you it's going to happen. Marie, I think Mbili will retire Canelo. Whoa. Let's see where Canelo's at. And Bailey's a tough opponent, but you gotta understand. Too. And Bailey went to war, dogfight with Lester Martinez. And some people saw him losing that fight. I thought Lester edged it out. But it was close. Close competitive fight. Dogfight. So let's see. And I'm gonna tell you this. And Billy, if youth and strength is going to be enough for him to beat Canelo, he could get it done. But I need you to understand something, my peoples, when it comes to this fight. And Billy's style is tailor-made for Canelo Alvarez. He's strong, right? But you know why he's tailor-made? Because Canelo needs his opponents to cooperate so he can work. He needs his opponents to come forward, to be there for him to do what he does. You guys know he don't like to chase you around. He don't like to chase guys around. And he struggled with opponents that, because we know Canelo's standing on quicksand. And Billy's going to be right there for him. So, it's going to be a very interesting fight. Can Canelo weather the storm, the type of power that Mbili brings to the table? But ultimately, Mbili does have the type of style that suits Canelo Alvarez. Because he don't really use that footwork, that movement like that. He's going to be right in front of you. And Billy is going to try to out-tough Canelo Alvarez. He's going to try to outgun him. The letter M, he beat Mbili. But Shiraz will be trouble. And His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh has expressed interest in Canelo Alvarez versus Hamza Shiraz. Turkey has expressed, wanting to see that fight. Young Guns. Usyk fought in different weight classes, so he should be on pound for pound. Hagler, Spence, Triple G were #1 weight class fighters when they were on the pound for pound. Let me tell you something. Alexander Usyk deserves to be the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. There's no getting around it, you know. Undisputed at cruiserweight, undisputed at heavyweight. You've seen the big guns beating them. He got to be #1. But I will say, that #1 spot is in jeopardy because the pound for pound list is not a lifetime achievement award. It's not, oh, look, that's your resume, so you locked in for #1. It's also a what have you done for me lately award. So if you got Alexander Usyk fighting Rico, kickboxing guy, Cherry, and then Naoya Inoue is facing the #6 pound for pound fighter in the world in Junto Nakatani, well, you know, I have to say that #1 spot is in jeopardy. Because obviously, Naoya Inoue is going to be adding to his resume a lot. Naoya Inoue is adding to his resume. Usyk is not by beating Rico. It's gonna add a 1 to his resume. 1 win. 1 win more. But that's it. You ain't really accomplishing nothing. My perspective, my peoples. But let me show you something about 2026. Look at these fights that we're getting. I want you to think about the fights that we're getting, right? We're probably going to get Canelo versus Billy. No. My bad. Let me rephrase that. I said we're probably going to get it. What the hell am I talking about? We're without a shred of doubt going to get Canelo versus Billy. You guys know this. I don't miss. I don't miss. But how about this one right here? This little gem that we're also going to get. My peoples. Delgado versus Lopez for the vacant IBF title. Ooh, this is a good fight. This is a good fight. Before you even try to assume that Delgado is a cherry, go ahead and look up his resume, man. Lindorfo Delgado. Go ahead and look up his resume before you even try to think that this guy's just being placed there for a title shot or for an easy Teofimo win. Teofimo's going to be facing a very tough opponent if he chooses to take this fight. The letter M. Usyk is pound for pound. But this Karate Kid, Egyptian pyramid, mummy fight ain't it. No, wait a minute. I'm with you on the opponent. I'm with you on the Karate Kid part. But I'm not with you on the Egyptian pyramid mummy fight. I'm feeling it. I love the venue. I love the creativity. I also loved it when they did it in Times Square. And I hope they do it in Alcatraz. I don't know if they're going to do that. They stopped talking about it. But I like that. I like the optics. I like the view. Marie. No, Shiraz is fighting for the vacant WBO belt, 168, co-main event of Usyk versus Rico. And Shiraz wanted Mbele or Pacheco, some names. But now he's fighting a German fighter for that belt. And I don't know why it played out like that, because supposedly it was, I don't know, Shiraz decided to drop out of the WBC rankings because supposedly at one point it was going to be Shiraz versus Mbele for that belt. So I don't know why that fell apart. What happened? Mickey Rourke. The Junto win should put Inoue in front as #1. I was just saying that. You know, Junto Nakatani is the #6 pound for pound fighter in the world. So Nakatani is facing a pound for pound fighter while Inoue is facing a karate guy, a kickboxing guy. Man, get the fuck out of here. Young Guns. I don't know much about Delgado outside. I think he stopped Martinez. Look him up. Go check out his box track. My peoples, let me explain to you something. Look at him right here. Lindolfo Delgado. Well, obviously he's undefeated. 24 wins, 14 knockouts. I'm going to be the one to tell you right now, man. This dude can fight. He can fight. He got power. And he's going to go into this fight feeling like he could beat Teofimo Lopez. It's going to be a tough... Like, I'll put it to you like this. If I was Teofimo coming off of a loss to Shakur Stevenson, I wouldn't take this fight. You have to understand, my peoples. Teofimo was out there versus Shakur looking like a Taco Bell burrito roller. You guys know I ain't lying. You guys know it. So, I don't know that this is the fight that he wants to take. Plus, I want you to take this into consideration. Please take this into consideration. If Shakur Stevenson made you look like you make chalupas at Taco Bell, right? Is this the fight that you want to take right after that? Is it? I don't know that you want to take. This kid is tough. Kid is tough. Pugilism. Don't have to compare with old time Roy and Ali. Just compare with this era. And this guy's ahead of him. The letter M. Teo should take his head and remind people he nothing to F with. I mean, look. This is the reason why I would not have expected this fight to happen. You guys have to remember, after Teofimo Lopez got made to look like a third shift Taco Bell janitor, he said he was going to the welterweight division. So that's what I thought. Okay, we're going to see him at 147. So is he going to try to pursue a title now at 140? Side, Taco Bell Teo. The letter M, that's dirty, Jay. You got Teo in Taco Bell gear. Mickey Rourke. He's got to get his power back, bro. Damn, man. Why? Listen, don't be saying that, man, because that thing gets stuck in anybody's head. Where's your power, bro? Where's your power? Damn, Pops. Pops crazy for that. Pugilism. Usyk is already heavyweight champ. He doesn't need the recognition because he has no limit on weight. Meaning, Usyk is apex predator. Top of the food chain. Pound for pound is to recognize the weights under heavyweight. No, that's not correct. Pound for pound is not to recognize the weights under heavyweight. That is not correct. That is 100% false, pugilism. Let me help you out with that. That's actually a false narrative. Let me tell you what pound for pound, what exactly 100% is what pound for pound is. So obviously there's weight classes for a reason. Fighters can only fight in a division because you're not going to fight somebody that's too heavy or too light. Pound for pound is an imaginary list that tells us who is the best fighter if they all fought in the same division. Who is it? Who's the best in the world if they fought in the same, if they all fought together? Number one. And number two, most importantly, pound for pound is not about who wins the most divisions. It's about who dominates their division the most. So to give you an example, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, he fought his whole career at 168. Whole career at 168. According to your logic, then he would never have been pound for pound because just like a heavyweight who's not going to be able to move up in divisions, Marvelous Marvin Hagler never did move up in division. He stayed in the same spot. So pound for pound, you know, people think it's about who wins more divisions or something like that, and it's not. It's about who dominates, whichever division they're on, who dominates the most. And how do you prove that? By beating the best in the division consistently. Usyk has been able to do that. He did it at cruiserweight. He has been doing it at heavyweight. So that's why he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Has nothing to do with heavyweight or not heavyweight, and everything to do with how do you dominate wherever you fight. Pass the track. Sup, Jay? You're talking about my Uber driver. Nah, we was talking about Teofimo Lopez, man. You know, he took a walloping, as they would say in the UK. Is it a walloping? But now it's looking like he's ready for a tough opponent. I mean, I'm not going to say it's looking like he's ready. That would be an exaggeration because he has said nothing. They didn't agree to nothing. It's just that the IBF said, we're mandating this fight. But Teofimo had already told us that he was going to the welterweight division. So the magic question here is, will Teofimo choose to stay? Will he choose to stay at 140 to grab that belt? Because you know what? I think he could grab that belt to say, look, I got another one, champion again, adding to the accomplishments. Now I'm leaving to welterweight. Could do that as well. Young Guns. Usyk is fighting guys 30, 40 pounds bigger than him at heavyweight. That's pound for pound stuff. Of course, man. Come on. That is pound for pound, like what Usyk is doing and the size difference. Because Usyk is kind of like Evander Holyfield, who was a champion at cruiserweight, then went to heavyweight and did it there as well. And he was a small heavyweight. Usyk is a small heavyweight. He winning off of skills. Skills. Because he's always fighting guys that are bigger and stronger than him. But he that guy, he that nice. Gotta respect it. Pass the track. Why did all say pound for pound Ray Robinson was better than him pound for pound? I mean, you have to understand, guys are humble. They're always, great fighters are always humble, and they usually want to give their flowers to somebody else who came before them. Pass the track. Sugar Ray Leonard fought at 175. Young Guns, he was proven at cruiserweight also. I mean, he became undisputed champion, of course. The Assassin. What was Teofimo's excuse this time for losing? I'm gonna be honest, I don't, at first he took it like a champ. He accepted it. You know, I don't think he realized how it was gonna go down. He looked shocked, bewildered, confused. But then afterwards, he kind of tried to play Shakur, like try to say like he's not all that or something along those lines. I don't know, maybe he's bitter. The Assassin. What was Teofimo's excuse? Pugilism. I know Usyk is pound for pound, but I already recognize that with him being the heavyweight champ. Some guy, salute boxing family, can't wait for the weekend, salute my brother, bam. But remember pugilism, the pound for pound fighter is not based on how many divisions they won. So it is not below heavyweight. It's anybody in boxing who dominates their own division. Young Guns, Usyk beat Gasser, Bradis, Tony Bellew at cruiserweight. Some legit wins. Marie, I find it weird because he wanted to move up 147 long time ago. Now he's staying at 140. Plus the 10-pound rehydration is difficult for him to make, I think. I mean, right now we don't know that this fight is happening. To be fair, you know, they've only announced that the IBF ordered this fight for the vacant title. But we don't know if it's actually going to happen. We'll see. We'll see, my peoples. But I say that's a very tough opponent to take right after getting your ass whooped. You know, you imagine taking a beating, and then you go fight this tough-ass opponent. Eric Gomes, this is a real great fight for Teo. It's a tough opponent, man. I feel like after losing the way that he did to Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo should give himself a little cherry pick. Because when you're a world champion, we expect you to fight everybody, get it, put the best in front of you. Right now, he's not a world champion. And he's coming off of an ass whooping. Get your little cherry pick. Get your little easy win. I thought he was going to the welterweight division. Get your easy opponent. This is a tough one right here, man. An undefeated fighter who's tough. Boxing track. It's Wednesday, dude. Waiting on the weekend. The letter M. Shakur should beat Teo ass again to give him some common sense. Now, I don't think Teofimo Lopez would ever want to fight Shakur again. I don't see that fight happening. Young Guns, Jay Smith, Gary Antoine lost to Puello. And next fight, got title shot against Rayo. Puello lost to Matias and gets Dalton Smith next for title. So I can't be mad at Teo for shot of a loss. So I'm going to say this. When it comes to Alberto Puello, because it's not just losing, it's how you lose, my brother. When it comes to Alberto Puello, when he lost to Zurdo Matias, a lot of people felt he won that fight. It was a very close fight. Good fight. But it was one of those fights where it's like, damn, he should have got an immediate rematch. But the powers that be already had plans for Dalton Smith to get his title shot. So Alberto Puello was put aside so that they could make that fight happen. But he should have got his rematch. So that's why it's fair for him to get this fight with Dalton Smith and get an opportunity to get his title back. And see how it plays out. It's a real good fight. Real good fight. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that one, my peoples. Dalton Smith. By the way, I told y'all that Dalton Smith was going to put the Swiss, the Dre, and the Apple Beats on Zurdo Matias. Ended up stopping him. Beat him up. Beat him up. Told ya. The Hydro Grind. Puello will beat Smith easy. Very easy fight. And Puello said he wants the rematch with Zurdo after. I know he wants that rematch, man, because he felt like he walked out of there feeling like he won that fight and they took it from him. Some guy, hell yeah, waiting on the weekend. Oh, pugilism, pound for pound fighter, is the fighter who best demonstrate clean punches landed between defense. Nah, it don't got nothing to do with that, man. It don't got nothing to do with that. It's about wins and losses, bro. Wins and losses. It don't got nothing to do with demonstrating. What happens is you're going to demonstrate that if you're the best. That happens by nature. But pound for pound list has nothing to do with that. It's about wins and losses. And who you beat. What are the resumes of the people that you beat? How many champions you beat? Boxing Fanatical. Cheers, Jay Smith. Enjoy your meal. Salute, family. You as well. Bam! We in the building, fellas. Check this out, man. Andy Cruz expressed interest in Raymond Morataya. I want the Morataya rematch for my career, but I can't control what Morataya decides to do. Whoa. I want to tell you something, guys. I watched that fight live. I called it. And I walked out of there feeling like Andy Cruz won the fight. I walked out of there. It was close. Real competitive showdown. But I felt like Andy edged it out. I really did. It was that close. So, of course, I would love to see a rematch. But Morataya is talking about moving up to 140. There you have it. We might see that rematch down the line. I don't think it happens anytime soon. But these two gave us what could potentially be fight of the year. It was actually that type of fight. When you look at it, how competitive it was, how they was both landing big punches on each other, combination punches. The ebb and flow, they kept going back and forth. The punch output very similar. My people, this thing turned into it's nothing better than when it turns into an elite level slugfest. That's what this thing turned into, my peoples. That's what it turned into. They was landing shots on each other back and forth, going hard to the body, to the dome piece, to the cone roast. Ultimately, Morataya walked out of there with the dub. But I felt like this fight should have either went to Andy Cruz or it could have been a draw. At the same time, there was swing rounds, man, that was so close that you say, okay, that round could have also gone to Morataya. You know, it could have gone to Andy Cruz. It could have gone either way. When you have those type of rounds, that's it. The balance of the fight shifts based on what the referee seeing. Mickey Rourke, where's Bam on the pound for pound list? Bam! Bam is number 4. Bam is the number 4 fighter, pound for pound, in the world. And listen, man, I gotta tell you, this pound for pound list is serious. Everybody who's on there deserves to be there. You gotta give it to them. Gotta give it to them. But once again, man, this fight, I would love to see it. If the rematch doesn't happen, let's see. Let's see how it all plays out. Because we're talking about Morataya, but I'm going to remind you guys, Morataya versus Shakur could be in the near future. The assassin, Smith, I'm disappointed in Abdullah Mason. He gets a good scrap in fighting Noakes. Now goes back to fighting bumps in Cordina. Nah, Cordina's not a bum, bro. Hold on. Cordina's not a bum. Cordina can fight. Plus, you have to understand, after a war like the one that he was in, you know, matchmaking is important too. You don't go straight into another opponent where you're going to go to war as well. Antoine Ward, salute family. Bam, hold on, my guy. You got to scale it down a bit. Cordina's a guy who don't have that serious knockout power, but he can box, he can move, got good speed. That's a good opponent and a former champion. Oh, there you go, Marie, a former champion. The guy can fight. Pasta track. Y'all wrong about this pound for pound thing. Listen, it means if Usyk shrinks down to 147, he could beat Shakur. That's what it means, guys. That's literally what I said. I said the pound for pound list is an imaginary list basically to say who is the best fighter if we all fought each other. Who are the best fighters? If we could actually fight, who would win? And that's the pound for pound list right there. You're literally repeating what I said. The hydro grind. Oh man, Kakachi. Pugilism, Cordina is sound and fight within his limits. He's a headstrong fighter, not reckless. Come on, man. Cordina's a guy who can fight. He's not a bum. Mickey Rourke. All I know is Mason better not fight Keyshawn like he fought Noakes, or the businessman will stop him. Whoa. Trent Thomas. Salute, family. Bam. In the building. We on it. Listen, fellas. Listen. You guys are ducking this one right here. And this fight could potentially happen. Raymond Morataya versus Shakur Stevenson. That's a heck of a fight. And there's a reason I'm saying this fight could happen, fellas. You guys know I don't just make stuff up out of thin air. Robert Garcia said they already have an opponent lined up. But if Shakur Stevenson calls, they taking that. ASAP. ASAP. And then after this, he said, we're thinking about moving up and challenging Shakur for his 140 belt. Pasta track, I want Shakur fighting someone. I mean, damn, Teofimo Lopez was a nobody? Golly. Mickey Rourke, do you consider this a challenge for Core? Morataya, I think it's a good fight. I believe Raymond Morataya is a good fight for Shakur Stevenson. He's a tough opponent. Tough opponent, my people. Come on now. Hell yeah. Now, I will say, that's something that I'm sure they'll deny, but Morataya ducked Shakur Stevenson. Because when he was at 135, you know, before moving up to 140, dethroning Teo and all of that, Morataya is one of the names that he mentioned, that he expressed interest in, before Morataya was a champion. So he would have been giving Morataya a title shot. And they was not interested. Now Shakur goes to 140, wins the title, and they're like, yeah, we'll vacate and we'll challenge him for his belt. And Shakur's like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm interested in that Ring Magazine belt that you got right now, 135. I want to fight you over there. So let's see. Let's see. I'd like to see this fight. I'd like to see it. You know, Shakur is coming off of, you guys know it, coming off of making Teofimo Lopez look like a Taco Bell third shift burrito roller. What a performance from Shakur Stevenson. You got to give him his respect. Got to give him his respect. Number 3 pound for pound in the world. That's where he's at right now. Because of that win. Pasatrack, okay, this guy might have some cred, but Shakur will whoop his ass. The assassin. I never had hope for Teofimo ever since I heard rumors that Rayo was dropping him in sparring. Pasatrack, burrito roller. You see it right there? You see how Shakur had him looking. Looking goofy as hell. Probably finished that fight with Shakur, suited up for the Taco Bell shift and went straight to work. Golly. So now, Teofimo has a tough opponent in front of him, and I would have cherry-picked. After losing like that, demoralizing loss. Nah, I'm cherry-picking. Get me a little easy win, look good, get the knockout, get my confidence back, start calling people out again. But Teofimo Lopez is going straight into the smoke. The letter M. I like crunch wraps. Listen, man. If you like crunch wraps, send Teofimo a DM. He might be able to make it for you. Daisy Sanchez. Teo never was on the pound for pound list. So I don't understand why he gets Shakur up so high. He gets Shakur up so high because of his accomplishments. It's about accomplishments. That's the thing. It's about accomplishments. He's won titles in multiple divisions, unified titles in multiple divisions, been lineal champion, Ring Magazine. That's why when you beat a guy with that many accomplishments, it is going to have an impact on the pound for pound list. Let me give you an example. If you look at some of the opponents that Inoue beat, they never been on the pound for pound list. A lot of them. A very accomplished. That's what put Inoue number 2. He's beating world champions. Pasatrack, Teo lost some of his aura, brother. He lost some of that mojo. Whoa. Mickey Rourke. Teo a champ. Why you talk about Daisy? I mean, he's not a champion right now. Wait a minute. Teofimo's not a champion right now. And I'm iffy about this move because, remember, he himself said he was going to the welterweight division. Now he's going to get a title shot at 140. But that's a tough opponent. So if he take it, I don't knock him. If he takes that fight, that's a tough fight. Mickey Rourke. Teo was on the pound for pound list years before Core was. Daisy Sanchez. Why he wasn't in the list with all those accomplishments? The assassin. No, Daisy, he's been on the pound for pound list. He just got knocked off. He went on the pound for pound list. He got knocked off when he lost to Cambosos. He went on the pound for pound list. And let me see. I don't know when he got knocked off, but he's been on the pound for pound list. You can look, Google Teofimo Lopez pound for pound and look for the images. You see that he's been on there. Pugilism. Recency bias, a mofo. Pass the track. Loma was late in his career, and Loma had a lot of injuries. And Teo was big for Loma. I mean, that's the thing. Right there, you're coming up with excuses. The problem with excuses is that the history books record wins and losses. That's it. Not only that, after Lomachenko lost to Teofimo Lopez, he became a world champion again. So that throws your whole argument, your whole logics into the water. He became a world champion again. You know how hard it is to become a world champion in boxing? If you understood that, you wouldn't say that. Teo beat him because he was the better fighter that night. Not because of anything that you're saying about, oh, he wasn't the same anymore. That's like the car accident stuff. It was a car accident. And because of the car accident, Errol wasn't the same anymore. Nobody want to hear that. Errol got beat up because Terrence Crawford's better than him. That's it. That's the only reason. No getting around that. Mac Dump Music. Haney barely survived Loma. Teo whooped him. Styles make fights. I mean, Styles do make fights. But you watch Teofimo Lopez get made to look like a Taco Bell chalupa manufacturer. And who did that to him? Shakur Stevenson, a boxer. Devin Haney's a boxer. It might be the same thing. Teofimo Lopez might get made to look like he's working, like he's fighting on his lunch break from Taco Bell. He on his lunch break from his second shift job at Taco Bell, fighting to go right back to work. Devin Haney might do it like that. Pugilism. Watch the fights and respect all fighters. And don't forget your pound for pound criteria, the belts and trinkets just fall into place. Young Guns, that's how I say with Mike Tyson. I can make excuses for why he lost. But bottom line, Buster Douglas took his soul. Look, man, I said this once and I say it again. Buster Douglas is highly, highly, highly underrated, my peoples. I promise you. He's a lot better than a lot of people even understand. Mike Tyson didn't get beat by a bum. Go watch the fight, and you can see the skills of James Buster Douglas. You can see the combination, the power, the movement, the footwork. Buster Douglas is a dude who can fight. His problem was with his physical. He couldn't stay in shape, unfortunately. He ballooned up and weighed too much, ate too much. Showed up to fights out of shape, running out of gas by the 5th round. That's the way, he just couldn't get it together. But for Mike Tyson, it was the perfect storm. And I guess that's not the best way to put it, but before that fight, Buster Douglas' moms had passed. And he dedicated this fight to her. So in training camp, Buster Douglas did what he never done before. He actually stayed focused, locked in, lost the weight like he was supposed to, got in shape like he was supposed to. And the Buster Douglas that got in the ring versus Mike Tyson was in the best shape of his life. We never saw Buster Douglas in that shape again in his career. That was it right there. If you watch right after that, he lost his title to Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield whooped his ass. Buster Douglas showed up like 30, 40 pounds bigger, heavier than when he fought Mike Tyson. Looking flabby and out of shape. And that's it after that. He got some wins here and there, but his career went downhill. He just couldn't stay in shape. And for the one fight that he put it all together, he walked out of there with the biggest upset in boxing history. The letter M, yo, A chalupa manufacturer. That's what he got made to look. To be honest. Trent Thomas. Tio is a good fighter that doesn't learn from his mistakes. He needs to be. He needs to, at his IQ. I mean, Teofimo Lopez is an elite level fighter. He's a real good fighter. The thing is, he stepped in there with Shakur Stevenson and he was in there against a better boxer. That's the reality. Look, if you watched the fight with Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos, Teofimo was supposed to win that fight. He could have won that fight. The reason he lost to Kambosos is because he went out there trying to blast Kambosos out of there quickly and swiftly. And Kambosos was, counterpunching him, teeing off to the dome piece, to the nose piece, to the mouthpiece. He thought he could get in there and blast Kambosos out of there. He could not. By the time he started, okay, we're going to have to box this guy, it was too late. He was too far behind on the cards. If you remember, it even got to a point where he had Kambosos surviving. He dropped Kambosos. And he had him surviving. But it was too late. You fell way behind on the cards. You couldn't come back. Couldn't do it. Teofimo lost to Kambosos similar to how Lomachenko lost to him. If you guys remember, Lomachenko, was being dominated in the first half of the fight, and then he came alive and started letting his hands go on Teofimo. But that's it. He was too far behind on the cards, and he lost the final round, which sealed the deal. So Teofimo, he fell behind on the cards because they didn't know when to adjust. They kept trying to blast him out of it. I remember that's when I realized Teofimo Pops be wilding out in the corner. I remember seeing Teo Pops talking about, fuck him up. Fuck him up. Go fuck him up. I'm like, what the fuck kind of instructions are those? Fuck him up? God damn. Bro, you want to tell him how exactly he's going to fuck him up? Like, jab to the body, tie him up when he close down like that on you. Like any actual instructions? Yo, nah, man. Nah. Teofimo Pops wilding out in the corner. Real talk. Mickey Rourke. Teo Dog J. Smith. That's why he not cherry picking. Wait a minute. Let me remind you, my brother. This fight, this potential fight for Teofimo Lopez, we don't really know if it's going to happen. The IBF mandated it. The IBF says, okay, we mandating this fight. But we don't know. Don't get it twisted. Teofimo has to agree to take this fight. And so does Delgado, of course. Trent Thomas. Lack of IQ. Use indeed. The Hydro Grind. Exactly, young guns. Bivol is the 11th man to become undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. The letter M. Hit him. Such a great boxing instruction by Teo Pops. And then asking him, where's your power, bro? Where's your power? What kind of question is that, baby? What answer was he expecting? Nah, I left my power in training camp, bro. You need to hit him. Mickey Rourke. Teo is what Ben wants us to believe he is without fighting the same level of competition Teo fought. I mean, Conor Ben, I believe that he's doing a good job, to be honest, with proving himself. Because, look, he fought Chris Eubank Jr. That was a good fight. He lost, an opponent that he lost who got the rematch, got the W. And let's see if he's able to get a title shot with one of the guys, who have a champion with the sanctioning bodies. Maybe he's going to go after that Zuffa belt first, or they're going to give him that first. Let's see how that plays out. My peoples. Xander Zayas versus Jerome Bruce Ennis. Whoa. The letter M, yo, J. And don't forget, by Teo Pops, You're gonna hate yourself tomorrow. The assassin said again, Jay Smith. Shakur beat him up. Beat him up. The hydro grind Conor banned. Listen, my peoples. Some are saying that Boots is also gonna beat him up. What's gonna happen with Jerome Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas? Predictions are coming in hot. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, man. I wish this fight was happening tomorrow. It's way in June 27th. I can't wait. I can't wait. People are expecting. And think about it. We're on April 22nd. May, June. 2 months. 2 whole months away before Xander Zayas and Jerome Boots step in the ring. They already started their training camps. They get ready. Daisy Sanchez, who's selling more pay-per-views? Zayas or Benavidez? I don't know. Hard to say. You know, because Zayas versus Boots, that's a big fight. But Benavidez versus Zurdo, that might be a bigger fight. You know what? That is a bigger fight. That is a bigger fight. Benavidez and Zurdo is a bigger fight. So I think that's going to do the bigger numbers. The assassin. My prediction, either Xander wins a decision or Xander Corner throws in the towel. Damn, so he's going to win by decision or get beat up. The letter M. I want to see Zayas on a PR float. Fist up celebrating. Look, man. That would be a monster upset if Xander Zayas can pull it off. The odds are going to be against him. Everybody's going to be betting against him. Let's see it. Let's see it. Can the young gun pull off the massive upset? Marie, Boots Ennis is going to get his respect after this fight. Because I see so many disrespect to him, saying he fought nobody, etc. But wait for this. He's going to make Zayas look like he doesn't belong there with him. Look, I've already seen Jerome Boots Ennis say he's going to stop him. I've seen Bozy say they're going to stop him. So you see the type of intentions that they got going into this training camp. The Hydro Grind, I got Zayas by decision. Jason has Mexican monster wins. 2 left hooks. I think they got a rematch clause. I don't know. Look, if they got a rematch clause, I think it depends on how the fight plays out. Let's say Boots win by split decision in a tough fight. I could see Zayas exercising that clause. But if he whoop his ass, if it's like some of y'all saying, if Boots beat him up, if it's like that, then there ain't going to be no rematch. They're not going to give him 2 beatings. Pasta Track, I love the stream, but them fighters need that revenue. The Hydro Grind, Marie, this is Boots' first real fight. JJ's in their house. I have to put some money on Xander. Ooh, going with the underdog. Scared money don't make money. Daisy Sanchez. As of now, Benavidez having a lot of trouble. Rumor only sold 5K so far. Whoa. Mickey Rourke. Y'all gonna lose your money betting on Xander. Young Guns. People said Bud didn't fight nobody for years until he fought Porter, Spence, Canelo. So Boots has to expect the criticism that he didn't fight nobody. Oh, but look, when you're a fighter of that level, people is always going to hate on you. That's part of it. That's part of it. Boots has a real good resume, a real solid resume. And guess what? The haters, they always going to hate. So if he does beat Xander Zayas, you know what they're going to say? Oh, he was too young. He wasn't ready anyways. He beat a young Zayas. They're not going to give him credit for this. Are you crazy? Look at Crawford. They didn't give him credit for Arrow. It was about the accident. They didn't give him credit about Canelo. Canelo ain't the same. That's just the reality. So haters are going to hate. Marie, just watch, brother, and we will come back. Talk about it. But y'all will see. Listen, I don't make predictions emotionally because I like one and not the other. Even fighter who I like, I tell the truth. Mickey Rourke. Daisy needs to do more research. People just be saying shit. Well, Mickey Rourke, I'm going to tell you this right now. There is a possibility that Jerome Bruce Ennis might beat him up. Beat him up. That possibility is out there, man. You got to let that sizzle in your spirit, because if it plays out like that, then you're going to be stunned, confused, not understanding what happened. Y'all don't want to be the crowd that's going to be like, yeah, but it looked like Sanders just wasn't the same. Something wasn't the same about Sanders' Zayas. Don't become that person. Marie, y'all hoping Zayas is going to win. I understand. But I know for sure y'all not confident. Zayas in there. I have lots of money left over from the Seahawks Super Bowl win. Some of that money is going into Sanders' Zayas pulling off the upset. Mickey Rourke. Oh no, Jay Smith. I got Boost putting belt to ass on Xander. I don't think Xander is on Boost level. Whoa. Whoa. Franchise 7 in the building. Bam, dropping in with the super chat vibes. Salute, my brother. You know this is all about the sweet science. Never been about the money. But you showing me that you appreciate what I'm doing out here. I appreciate you, my brother. Franchise 7, what you got for me? Good evening from Germany, fam. Whoa, Germany's in the building. My brother, right now, it's 9 a.m. Eastern time. It's morning time here in the Dominican Republic. We having breakfast, you having dinner, but we talking boxing. That's what's important right there. The letter M. Y'all really think it's going to be a Crawford Arrow situation, shaking my hand? Young Xander is going to put the beats on Boots. Whoa. The Swiss, the Dre, and the respective Apple beats on Jerome Bruce Ennis. We have to see it. 2 left hooks. Whoa. Young Guns. Just my opinion. I think Fundora and Virgil will be tougher fights for Boots than Xander Zayas. I'm going to say this. People have been suggesting that Xander Zayas is the weakest link in the division and that he's not, as good as they say. Somebody even told me that he's a hype job. Somebody actually had the audacity to tell me that Xander Zayas is a hype job. I'm going to say this. 23 years old, unified champion in the 154 division. This kid is for real. Win, lose, or draw, Xander Zayas is for real. And I'm going to remind you guys that he actually was trying to get the fight with Sebastian Fundora, or at least approached him, wanted to do a face-off and everything with Fundora. He wanted to fight Tim Tszyu, was calling him out when Tszyu was undefeated. Xander Zayas really been about that smoke. He's the one that pushed to make this fight happen. So don't get it twisted. The young gun is going in there feeling like he could put the Swiss, the Dre, and the respective Apple beats on Jerome Bruce Ennis. That's how he going in there. That's the mindset. 2 left hooks. Definitely not a hype job. That's what I'm trying to tell the people. If you think Zayas is a hype job, you confused. I don't know what type of stuff you on, but you need to leave it alone. Mickey Rourke, Xander putting the beats on Boots is asinine and laughable. Boots never been beat up. Whoa. Boots ain't never take a beating in his life. The letter M. Whoever says Zayas is a hype job, like you say, don't know shit about boxing. Marie. Nah, Zayas not hype job. Otherwise, he wouldn't be unified champ. But I say that because Boots is on another level. Well, you know what? There is levels. In boxing, there are levels. That's boxing right there, my peoples. Let's see what Boots is going to show us. Make it Rourke. Boots will hit Fundora in the snack box. Whoa. Right in the mouthpiece. Trent Thomas. He's just young and he's going to be around, win, lose, or draw. He will eventually end up in the Hall of Fame. I think so too. I said this about Xander Zayas. You know, I'm in the Xander Zayas bandwagon, my peoples, because I've already seen, you know, the way that he's been accomplishing, but also the opponents that he's been facing. Not out there cherry picking. He's going after the smoke. And look, 23 years old. Remember, Floyd Mayweather got made to look like a bus driver against Floyd Mayweather when he was 23 years old. And what happened after that? He went on a Hall of Fame run. Won titles in different divisions, became undisputed. You know, he accomplished a lot. So there you have it. Posse track, broke weather. Whoa. So if Floyd Mayweather went on a Hall of Fame run after losing to Floyd at 23 years old, guess what? Xander Zayas could do the same thing. He could get beat up by Jerome Ennis and then go to 160, win a title, and continue to accomplish. So Xander Zayas, you know, he's taking a big risk at 23 years old, daring to be great. Let's see how it plays out. The Hydro Grind, the Barclays will be 80% Puerto Ricans that day. Oh, Puerto Rico's going to be in the building. Going to be in the building. Mickey Rourke, 80% of Barclay will be disappointed. Skip a clipper. Will Zayas versus Boost go the distance? That's a great question. That is a great question. What do you think? Do you guys think Jerome Boost Ennis versus Xander Zayas goes the distance? I'm asking you that question. Trent Thomas, you mean Canelo? Franchise, Boost will be good at light middle. And I'm going to tell you something about that franchise. Jerome Boost Ennis, he a big dude. He a big guy. That's why in this fight, he's not going to be the smaller guy. Even though he moved up recently, he's not going to be the smaller guy. Although Xander Zayas is also a big dude. But Boots, he's not going to cap off his career at 154. He's probably going to, you know, try to go for that undisputed crown and then move up to 160 and keep accomplishing. That's what I'm expecting from Jerome Boost Ennis. Daisy Sanchez, 100% will go the distance. The Hydro Grind, it will go the distance for sure. No one getting stopped. Skip a clipper. Yes, you got the answer. Underrated Will, good morning. Salute, family. Bam, 2 left hooks. Going the distance. Joe King, they both smart enough to go 12. The letter M, Boo's gonna be seeing stars and flags. Oh, you see? So now a lot of people seeing this fight going the distance, huh? So I want you to let this sizzle in your spirit then. If you see this fight going the distance, taking into account the power punching of Jerome Boost Ennis, his knockout percentage, he telling us that he's going to knock him out, Bozy telling us that he's going to knock him out. If we take all of those factors into consideration, then that means that you're confident that Xander Zayas is an elite level fighter. Because no average Joe is going to be expected to go the distance with Jerome Boost Ennis. So if you say he going the distance, you got to respect it. Mickey Rourke, a lot of Puerto Ricans will be disappointed. Boo is going to have y'all making all type of excuses like the Mexicans made for Canelo. Whoa. Puerto Ricans are going to be coming through with excuses? Talking about, Xander Zayas, he's used to listening to the coquis in the morning before he fights, and that day he didn't hit no coquis, so it was different. Franchise, Boost is the boogeyman. Whoa. 2 left hooks. Zayas got the knockout power as well. I agree with you. I agree with you. Let me see something, my people. You know, somebody that I want to talk to Somebody that I wish I could talk to before this fight is Bozy, y'all. That's somebody who I wish I could talk to. Why? Let me see something real quick. Why I would like to talk to Bozy? Because they going for the knockout. So if they trying to knock him out, you know, how does this fight really play out? How does this fight really play out, my peoples? Young Guns Puerto Rico has been doing good things lately in boxing. They on it. They on it. But let me tell you this, my brother. Look out for the Dominican Republic. Look out for Dominican Republic. We got some young, hungry lions that they're going to give problems. They're going to give problems. And I could pretty much guarantee you these kids, they're going to become world champion in whatever division they're fighting in. When their time is right, of course. All about the timing. The letter M. I can't wait till Zayas tests Boo's jaw to shut mouths. Look, man. For the people who think that Xander Zayas is just going to get washed, it's kind of disrespectful. If you ask me, it's kind of disrespectful to process it that way. Trent Thomas. These are the best of the best, but we will have to see which one has the highest IQ. Make it wrong. Bro, the Charlo's time has passed. Pasatrack. I know Jay was going to stand on the Dominican fighters once Puerto Rico was mentioned. Daisy Sanchez. Are the Charlos ever coming back? I wonder. I don't know, man. That's a tough question to answer. I'd like to see it. You guys know that every time the Charlos step in the ring, we're going to get a good fight, action-packed. But I don't know. I don't know how this thing plays out. Franchise. I wish Hector Camacho was here. Prime and boxing. Oh, my God, man. People don't even understand. You have to look it up, you know, to actually see it, man. Hector Camacho was just such a special fighter. The hands were so fast. Young Guns, Dominicans got Carlos Adames and Puello, two legit fighters. Yeah, but there's some Young Guns coming up. At some point, my brother, you're going to see 4 or 5 Dominican champions at the same time, simultaneously. Remember I told you this. We had 3 at once. But we're going to have more than that. The Hydro Grind, Rohan Polanco, the real deal. Yes, sir. Rohan Polanco is a guy who's chipping away early in his career, but you're going to see him get a title shot within the next few years. He's going to become a world champion. The Assassin, I want to hear what Boost fans going to say when he lose to an island boy. Franchise, Macho doesn't get enough credit for the hand speed he had. Hand speed was incredible. Hector Macho Camacho, his skills, his speed, his footwork, ring IQ off the charts. Skipper Clipper. I did homework on Zayas versus Boots. Boots too fast for Zayas. Ooh, you think the speed is going to do Xander Zayas in? The speed is what's going to give him the problems? Pasatrack. Trinidad was Dominican? No, Trinidad Puerto Rican. Young Guns, Jay Smith. What do you think Adames gets a 168 belt and becomes best Dominican fighter of all time? I mean, if he gets the belt, does he become the best Dominican fighter of all time? I'm not sure. When you're talking about all time, I can't say that he is or isn't based on the belt. I got to look at the resume. I got to look at, how many champions you beat, who you beat, and that's how that gets determined. Pugilism. And all the island fighters got to eventually arrive stateside at Norfolk Scope versus DB3 to keep our live fighting going. Welcome to VA 140, 154. We ready. Joking. Timing beats speed. That's a fact. That is a fact. Great timing beats great speed. Every time. On Lace. Jay, Is Camachito still fighting in DR? It's not Camachito, it's Camacho Jr. because that's two different people. So let me just clarify that. So Hector Camacho Jr. has been working on setting up a fight here in Dominican Republic, an exhibition. Right now, what he got going on next is an exhibition that's going to be somewhere in the U.S. And I'll be sharing those details with you guys. So Camacho Jr. will be in the ring trading leather, and I'll update you when it comes to that. Daisy Sanchez. So Eddie has a chance to beat Top Rank finally. Man, listen. Eddie, I almost thought Eddie was going to have a chance to beat Zuffa. Because Eddie Hearn and Dana White could have stepped in the ring. They was talking about it. But it looked like Dana White don't want that smoke. He must have thought about it like, nah, man. This dude too big, too strong, and younger than me. Eddie Hearn will beat him up. Mickey Rourke. Too fast, too smart, too big. Xander ain't stopping shit. The black man got this one. Pasta track. I remember when Hector beat Ray. I remember that fight. But at that time, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard had been inactive for I don't know how many years. And he was washed. He was done. He was done. He wasn't the same. But Hector Camacho was also, but he was younger than Sugar Ray Leonard. So he had a little bit of an advantage in that fight. Young Guns, do you think Oscar Bestito? I know Oscar took off gas, but I thought he banked 7 rounds easy. I agree with you. I felt like Oscar De La Hoya won that fight. They stole it from him. Don King was involved. You remember, Don King was Tito Trinidad's promoter. It looked like he had them judges in the bag, bro. But I also blame Oscar De La Hoya for doing what he did in the championship rounds, simply because they're both undefeated reigning world champions. And, you know, I've been following Oscar De La Hoya for a long time before that fight. The same with Tito Trinidad. I've never seen Oscar De La Hoya running from an opponent, ever. Seeing all of his fights before that. And then all of a sudden, you see him fighting Trinidad, Trinidad chasing him, Trinidad being himself. So I think, you know, he also got punished for that. Like, how do you do that on the championship rounds? We consider you the best in the world, and you out here trying to survive over this guy? So it wasn't a good look. My opinion, my peoples, it just wasn't a good look. So I felt like he won the fight, but he allowed them to take it from him. There's another big fight. Another big fight that we got coming up, my peoples. Damn, I really like this one, man. I'm excited. May 2nd is going to be a real good day. Real good day on May 2nd, my peoples. I am excited about that date. And I'm going to tell you why. On May 2nd, we're going to get Junto Nakatani versus Naoya Inoue. And we're going to get the Mexican Monster versus Zurdo. Oof. Kelly Monero. Who you got, Boots or Zayas? I haven't made my prediction for that fight yet. I have not made that prediction just yet. The letter M. Nakatani gonna make monster sushi. Daisy Sanchez. This is the big fight for May. Inoue versus Nakatani. Hold on. Hold on, Daisy. Because on the same day, May 2nd, we also got the Monster and Zurdo. That's going to be a good fight. Championship fight. The Mexican Monster, you know, trying to continue to accomplish. Kelly Monero, I was right. in the Deontay Wilder fight. Whoa. Whoa, we really thought Wilder was going to get knocked out. You was one of the ones that was right. Marie, we got 2/3 fight cards on that day. Crazy, can't wait. Unless can sort of pull out an upset. I don't know, man. I got David Benavidez winning that fight. That's me. And I'm saying, if you push me to make a prediction right now, that's who I'm picking. Damn, man, over here, look at this shit. Throwing juice all over myself. Golly. Zayas has 31 likes. Come on, my peoples. That's diabolical. Been going at it for an hour and a half. Daisy Sanchez, Benavidez is not Mexican. He's half Mexican. Unless I got David too. Changes in theirs. No Mexican monster wins. Mickey Rourke. Daisy strikes again with the misinformation. Young Guns. I find it hard to believe Benavidez is going to become unified cruiserweight champ, only to go back down to fight to light heavyweight. The letter M can sort of pull off an upset. No. The juice falling into the shirt was how real it is. There you have it. There you have it. Juiced. Jay is in there. Get her the fuck out of here. Young Guns. Why Mickey cooking Daisy? Damn, this thing is turning. I didn't even know, man. This is a regular Boxing for Breakfast episode. Y'all trying to turn this thing into a cooking show? What is going on over here? My peoples, this is a special fight. This is a special fight. I want you guys to see how they match up. If you look at the age, the size, the experience, all of those factors, you see how evenly matched Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani actually are. It's a heck of a fight, my peoples. I'm super excited for this one. And it's on May 2nd. Ooh, hold on. Benavidez versus Zurdo is on May 2nd. Nakatani and the Monster. Nakatani and the Monster. That's also on May 2nd. So basically, you guys know that fight is in Japan. We'll get Nakatani and the Monster in Japan early in the morning. And then we're going to get Zurdo and the Mexican Monster in the evening. So we're going to get two monsters fighting on May 2nd. The Monster and the Mexican Monster. Who's going to be the real monster? Mickey Rourke. If Mexican Monster wins convincingly or by stoppage, do you think he needs to think about those heavy? Look, I've seen a post where Benavidez says in the future he would be interested in fighting Alexander Usyk. But is Usyk even going to stick around that long or would even entertain that fight? The letter M, early morning. We here, baby. Yes, sir. Salute. Bam. Marie, I really like that fight. I wished for it, and they gave it Inoue versus Nakatani. But I see many American boxing fans, YouTubers, etc., don't respect those guys and don't like that fight. Crazy. I don't understand why. Look, I wouldn't say that Americans don't like those guys. I would say it's more that they're not as popular. You know, this is a super important fight. Obviously, there's title implications. Both are pound for pound fighters in the world, but they're both Japanese. So most of their fan base are on that side of the world. You know, they're not as big in the US. Neither one of them. But the fight is being staged in Japan, where it should be. And I guarantee you, that venue where they're going to fight, they're going to sell that place out. It's a big fight. Huge. The letter M. Is it just a coincidence? Both monsters fighting the same day. And I want to show you this right here. I want you to let this sizzle in your spirit real quick. Bam! May 2nd. That's the date that Canelo and Crawford 2 would have taken place. If Crawford would have opted to give Canelo his rematch, it would have taken place on Cinco de Mayo weekend, which is May 2nd. What does this tell you? David Benavidez has taken over Cinco de Mayo weekend. Canelo, take your ass to September. Sorry, buddy. The letter M, it's simple. They don't speak English to trash talk, to sell fights. No, but in their culture, Japanese fighters, that's not part of their culture. They're not trash talkers. So you won't see that happening. But the not speaking English parts does affect them. If Inoue was American, this would be a different conversation. He would be a way bigger star. Pasta track. No, it wasn't a coincidence. It was written in the stars. Shakur hands. September. That's it. Canelo could take his ass to September from here on out. I'll bug. God damn. Inoue at like 2 a.m. And then Benavidez at like midnight. Gonna be tough. Nah. Look, Inoue's fight, sometimes his fights, we'll get him like at 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning. I like that. I don't mind. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. 9 in the morning sometimes. We'll get that fight. Take a little nap. Because, yeah, man, PBC be having their main event at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. You'll be ready to pass out before the main event. Should be crazy. Daisy Sanchez. They will. Inoue versus Neri sold out the Tokyo Dome already. So it's going to happen again. Of course, look, we're talking about 2 pound-for-pound fighters. And both extremely popular in Japan, so they selling out that venue for sure. 2 left hooks. I think that shit so corny. Crawford didn't give Canelo the rematch before he retired. The thing is, 2 left hooks, that he didn't have to give him a rematch because he beat him. It's not like it was a robbery. It's not like people thought Canelo won the fight or Crawford got gifted the W. No, he beat him. There's no question about who was the better fighter. So no, he don't got to give him the rematch. Of course not. You think it's corny that he didn't give him the rematch because you thought Canelo was going to win. You wanted Canelo to win. You wanted Crawford to lose. So now you think it's corny because you want Canelo to get another chance. Maybe you could get that loss that you wanted to see Crawford get. It didn't happen. You have to accept it. The better man won. That's it. That's the reality. The Hydro Grind. It's already sold out, Jay Smith. 55,000 people in the Tokyo Dome. Jayas and Dejas. It's going to be a firefight. 2 kamikazes going at it. Nothing but war. Oh, they going to war. They going to war, 100%. 2 left hooks. Yeah, but damn, Jay Smith. Let the rematch happen. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Two left hooks. I wanted the rematch to happen. I would have wanted the rematch to happen. And I think in the rematch, Crawford may have become the first guy to knock Canelo out. Because I felt like he could have went for the knockout. In round number 9, when he started like teeing off on him, I felt like he could have went for the knockout. So now, you know, when Crawford says, no, I'm going to retire, I'm done. I say, you know what, I'm respecting that. I'm respecting that. He's 38 years old, about to be 39. Great age to retire from boxing. You should retire from boxing prior to turning 40, especially if you had a long career. Pass a track. Jay knows everything about the way you think just by one comment. Come on, my guy. That's why I'm Jay Stradamus. You just take one comment, I'll read your whole brain. 2 left hooks. Nah, I learned my lesson going against Crawford against Arrow. I'm still hurt. That was the pummeling of a lifetime, though, man. Like, that's one of the few fights where you are saying Crawford's gonna win, and when he is winning, instead of just feeling happy, you're actually feeling sad. Like, there was moments in that fight where I was feeling sad for Arrow. I remember looking at my phone and seeing a post from Devin Haney. Yo, Terrence Crawford beating the shit out of Arrow. I'm like, oh man, god damn. The beating of a lifetime. Mickey Rourke. We will have so more of the same and might have seen a KO. I think Crawford would have stopped him in the rematch. He definitely was going to beat him up. Mickey Rourke. Bro, you said the same shit as I was typing. That's why I F for you, Jay Smith. You tapped in. Salute, family. Appreciate you, brother. Daisy Sanchez. Benavidez is not taking anything. His pay-per-view will tell the full story. Pass the track. 2 left hooks. You thought Arrow was going to beat Crawford. Oh, man. Took the beating of a lifetime, my peoples. I mean, you seen it. You see what Crawford did. That was a historical win. That win is on a historical level. Pass the track. Oh, no, 2 left hooks. Yeah, I thought Arrow was going to win. Flip mode. Salute, fam. David being a big guy that can throw punches and bunches makes him extremely dangerous. And he's gotten better managing his gas tank, which is very important in the sport of boxing. Look, at this time, David Benavidez has developed himself into a real monster. He's the Mexican monster. The name is perfect. When you look at the punch output, the hand speed, the footwork, the movement, everything is there. Frank, salute, family. Bam. Guerrero, salute. Mickey Rourke. I'm still wondering, what made you say the Mexican monster is not Mexican? The letter M. I did feel bad for Spence post-fight interview. Oh, man, listen. I was watching the post-fight interview, and I was just wondering, like, damn, why would you put Errol Spence in front of a camera like this? Why would you do this? Errol Spence, you know, I don't know how many concussions he probably had in his dome piece at that moment. And they got him in front of a camera like, yeah, I did what I said I was going to do. Looking all confused and shit. I felt like they did him dirty with that one. Pass the track. The monster puts together fabulous combinations. Daisy Sanchez. When Benavidez surpassed the 500K pay-per-view buys, I believe it. Guerrero, just because his grandma isn't Mexican, it doesn't mean he's not Mexican. JJ's and that's 39 likes. Come on, my people. Double tap that screen. Listen, fellas. Listen. I'm giving you this serious boxing for breakfast from here on out, my peoples. The show is going to go down from 8 in the morning to 10 in the morning. Mondays through Fridays. Now you're guaranteed to get 2 hours worth of boxing for breakfast every morning, whether you're driving to work, whether you're eating your breakfast, whether you're at work and you can sneak in a few minutes of boxing for breakfast. You're getting 2 hours of this smoke, my people, so you better start hitting that like button. 2026, we not messing around. Shakur Stevenson, he been destroying people. Young Guns, 8 to 10. Al Booger, Mexican Monster Benavidez. 2 left hooks, let's go. We on it, my peoples. 2 hours of boxing for breakfast, Mondays through Fridays. Yes, sir, kicking off at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Rick Rivera, Benavidez is Mexican, Ecuadorian, and Dominican. Guerrero says, Daisy, I prefer to be called Mexican, even though I was born here. There you have it, my peoples. That Mexican blood running through you, my G. The letter M. I be putting boxing for breakfast on the speakers. Fuck my neighbors. That's right. And in case your neighbors are listening to me right now, fuck your neighbors. Just in case. Shackle hands. It's almost over. Trent Thomas, get the lights up, my peoples. Y'all gotta hit the like, man, because now it's gonna start getting hot out here for boxing for breakfast. And let me just point something out, my peoples, before, because we got some things that we gotta talk about, right? But before moving on to the next topic that we want to talk about, which is Bivol will be making his return. Come on now, on May 30th. On May 30th, my peoples, next month, Dimitri Bivol is going to make his return. But before we get into all the details, all of the good stuff, let me point something out for you, my peoples. Number one, boxing for breakfast is going down for 2 hours every morning. 8 in the morning to 10 in the morning, Eastern Time. That's number one. Number two, you guys are going to see me going live a lot more often. You know, before I would go live once a day for the morning show. That's it. Then I will post videos, shorts throughout the day. Not now. You will see me going live throughout the day. So at lunchtime, you guys are going to see me going live. We're going to be talking boxing. Any updates that have taken place throughout the day, we're going to be talking about it. And then, for those of you who missed it yesterday, I was live yesterday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So I did a little survey. I was asking you guys, what is the best time that you would like to see me stream at nighttime? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And the one that got the most votes was 8 o'clock at night. So, oftentimes you'll see me going live at night. Tonight you will see me there. Okay, in case you missed it yesterday, in case you didn't get a notification, because I'm shadow banned, no, you ain't getting no notifications for my live. Tune in at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time tonight. We're going to be talking boxing. We're going to be doing what we do. My people's Dimitri Bivol is coming back to the ring. He's going to be in action. 2 left hooks. Shout out to you, Jay Smith. I started watching your channel because I don't know shit about boxing. Today I can say I learned a lot about the game of boxing from your perspective. Thanks. I appreciate you, my brother. The Hydro Grind. Can't wait to see how Bivol looks after that surgery. Let's see. Let's see. Bivol is somebody who you guys know what he's been able to accomplish, what he's done. He's experienced a little bit of inactivity after going through a surgery. Bivol versus Eifert, comeback fight. This is an opponent that I'm not familiar with. Let me check him out real quick. How about that, right? Let me Google his box rec. See what this Eifert guy is about. Michael Eifert. The letter M. That's his IBF mandatory. Okay, so Michael Eifert has a record of 13 wins, 5 knockouts with 1 loss. He's from Germany. Okay. 5'11", pretty big dude. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. When I look at his resume, there really isn't anyone there. You know, his last opponent was 12-4. Before that, Gene Pascal, experienced fighter, 36-6. But then before that, Adriano Sperandio, 14-1. Then before that, Georgi Varjus, 7 wins, 10 losses. But before that, he had Neil Schmidt, 20-0. Tom Dresky, 17-0. Look, he has, I would say, a decent resume. I would say Michael Eifert has a decent resume. You don't see a lot of knockout power in those numbers. The assassin, Tuna Can. The letter M, Bivol by easy win. Mickey Rourke. Where are you from? Or will call yourself Daisy. Where? Daisy, we heard you. And it's true. But I'm still Mexican and proud. Daisy Sanchez, American. So look, man. This right here is Michael Eifert. Michael Eifert. I think Bivol is going to pummel him. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Bivol is going to put the Swiss, Dre, and Apple Beats on him. Going to look good, and let's see what's next. Pasta track. Maria, I'm a transgender F, so you cannot say that. Whoa. Rick Rivera, Bush shouldn't care what people think. Their opinions don't matter. I really am pulling for Boost to beat Xander. I feel like this is Xander's first real fight against an experienced named fighter. I mean, if you think about it, Boots and Xander, this is both the biggest fight of their career. It's the case for both of them. Because, let me say this, there isn't anybody in Boots' resume that we think could beat Xander Zayas. There isn't anybody there. So, it's not like Xander Zayas is facing the toughest opponent of his career and Boots isn't. Xander Zayas could potentially give Boots the hardest fight he ever had. Mickey Rourke, what do you fill out when they ask your race on a job application or government? Daisy. There you go, Daisy. Are you black? Are you white? Are you Hispanic? Marie. Oh, Bivol is gonna smoke him. We don't think. We know that for sure. Pasta track. I'm only screwing around, Jay. Wero. David. In my opinion, beast Bivol. I think we're gonna end up getting that fight. We are gonna end up with David Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol fighting each other. Maybe the next time around. Maybe after Benavidez handle business, Bivol handle business, they face each other. Then let him stick to boxing. Flip. I heard Charlo say that he will fight the Tower Inferno. Who will you favor in that fight? I would have to go with the Tower Inferno. I have to go with it. You know why? Because ultimately, Charlo's been inactive for a long time. No activity. And you've seen the type of work Sebastian Fundora has been putting in. If they fight each other, I'm have to go with Fundora. Daisy Sanchez, I don't fall for the BS. JJ's in there has please everyone, let's talk boxing. Wero, I hope we get that fight. Mickey Rourke. You are BS and spread misinformation. We all see you and laughing at you, sweetheart. Then I gotta stop reading it like that. I gotta stop reading the messages like that because it look like I'm putting some spices into your words. I'm like, you are BS and spreading misinformation. That's not the way you're saying it. That's the way I'm saying it. God damn, I'm over here starting beefs. The letter M. Charlo Bros are too busy running Texas. Al Booger Facts M. This cringy SF. Mickey Rourke. The letter M. Yeah, they running all right. Aroma Sound. Sanders said he goes into the ring at 185. How much do you think Boost will weigh on fight night? I think Boost will be right around there too. You gotta understand, Boost is a big dude. Jerome Boost Ennis is a big guy. So, honestly, and this is my expectations, come fight night, they're gonna be right around the same. I don't think there's gonna be much difference in their weight. I really don't. They're about the same size. The Assassin, I need Morataya to keep fighting no names. I hate when these fighters go backwards, like Keyshawn. Jay Jason as Jay Smith. Make you roar. Oh, love, people. We can be adults and have conversations. Salute Jay Smith, salute family. Bam, Daisy Sanchez. I wonder if Bivol. I mean, we're going to see how Bivol looks in this fight. He's coming off of that inactivity, but he's fighting a little cherry pick. And my expectations are that Dimitri Bivol is going to put the Swiss, the Dre, and the respective Applebee's on his opponent. Those are my expectations. Gonna be a good fight. Gonna be a good one, my people. The letter M. I can't front. You was reading it like an instigator. Like how we want Shakur to fight Keyshawn. Damn, man. I have to have a different tone for the different type of comments that I'm reading. So, my peoples. Hold on. Here we go. So, my peoples. Remember, I don't have the link up. I didn't put the link up. But remember to subscribe to Box Center 2.0. If you're not subscribed on there, I don't even know what you're waiting for. I don't know what you're waiting for. In Box Center 2.0, you're getting exclusive content. You're getting exclusive videos. And then, of course, for the people who's already subscribed to this channel and decided to become members, salute to you. I appreciate you. Listen, fellas, I'm going to be effectively doing a members only live. That's coming up real soon. I don't want you to miss it. Become a member of this channel. It's cheaper than a goddamn coffee at Starbucks. You pay more money for your goddamn coffee at Starbucks than becoming a member in the Box Center channel. So become a member, get that exclusive content, get these exclusive lives. And remember, my peoples, what I told you earlier. Boxing for Breakfast is now going down from 8 in the morning to 10 in the morning Eastern time. 2 hours of Boxing for Breakfast every day. So you better hit that like button. No ghost watching, no sneak hating. The letter M, I love this place. Me too, my brother. Love hanging out with my Box Center family. Wero, Andy Ruiz will fight David in a heartbeat. David will win. JJ's there has Jay Smith. Jay Smith pushing the two kids together. Fight. The assassin Bivol gonna beat him up. In Jay Smith voice, beat him up. JJ's in the house. Remember Jay Smith, I subscribe. The year, whoa. You the only one. Salute my people to JJ's in their house. Let me tell you something. My peoples, about JJ's in their house. And I appreciate you, my brother, for this. And that's why I'm telling everybody else. When I made it available that you could become a member of the Box Center channel, you know, I posted a video, I spoke about it, I let the people know, hey, listen, you can support me by becoming a member of the channel, like $5 a month, like $4.99 a month. And you know what JJ did? He bought a membership for a whole year. And that meant a lot to me. You know, a whole year membership was like $60. But it's not just the 60 bucks that struck me. What struck me is that if you ask JJ's and Zayas about me, he's going to tell you that I'm going to be here next year, that I'm going to be around. I'm not going anywhere. You know, he has that confidence in what I'm doing over here, that he could become a member for a whole year and have those expectations that I'm still going to be dropping content a year down the line. What a vote of confidence. So salute to my brother JJ Sendejas. I appreciate you. And everybody else who's become a member of the Box Center family. And everybody who's tuning in, hitting the like button, commenting. My peoples, watch the shorts. I'm going to be spending a lot more time with you. I'm talking about the morning show, going live in the afternoon, going live at night. We got an 8 o'clock show tonight at 8 o'clock. Make sure you tap in. I'm going to be giving you guys crazy boxing, my peoples. The letter M. I feel like Box Center is going to skyrocket. I'm dead serious. I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. And I feel that way too. But I will say, this thing could skyrocket in months or in years. You never know when something is going to skyrocket. But if you guys, share the videos, whether it's on your IG, on your Facebook, on whatever social media app you use, if you sharing the videos really does help. It really does help me. It helps the channel get noticed. It helps other people find me. So guys, go ahead, man. Make sure you share this content. Let the people know what we got going on over here. I'm about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. My peoples, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning, man. Y'all know how we get down. Salute to Mickey Rourke. 2 Left Hooks was in the building. Al Booger, Shakur Hands, the letter M, JJ Sendejas, Wero, and everybody else who tuned in, my peoples. Mickey Rourke was in the building. Flip Mode was in the building. Daisy Sanchez, Marie was in the building. Positrack, family. Brent Thomas, Toy Mafia, and everybody else who tuned in, my peoples. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I'll repeat it one more time. You enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you share it. Share it across all social media. Let's get to where we need to go. Let's let the people see what we got going on over here. Don't let this be a little secret stash. Like, yeah, I got my little secret channel. They don't know about this. Nah, don't be greedy. Let's put them on. My peoples, once again, it's another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I appreciate each and every one of you. Whoa, JJ's in the house. God bless Jay Smith and the Box Center family. Yes, sir, my peoples. One love to everybody. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 8 in the morning Eastern time. 8 to 10 in the morning. JJ Sendejas is saying the word of the day. I can't really leave you guys without the word of the day. I can't do it. This has become a tradition of the show, right? So I got to do the word of the day. So let me do that for you right now. Let me do the word of the day for my Box Center family before we get the hell out of here. So the way I'm going to start the word of the day for you guys is by saying, in life, oftentimes, we don't do what we want to do. We learn that there's going to be times that we do what we have to do. Not what we want to necessarily, right? But it's what we got to do. And sometimes we get attached to things being a certain way, to things being done a certain way. And if you don't want to do something, don't do it. Find your way out of it. Find your way into doing what you really want to be doing. And I'm going to say this. You guys will notice that Boxing for Breakfast is finally going down for 2 hours every morning from 8 to 10. Now you got Boxing for Breakfast guaranteed. You guys will notice that I go live at lunchtime. You'll see me going live at nighttime. You're going to see a lot more of me. Why? Because that's what I want to be doing. I want to be doing boxing, right? So you're going to see me put a lot more effort. You're going to see me dedicate a lot more time to boxing, which is what I want to be doing. So my word of the day to you guys is do what you want to do. Find ways to do what you want to do. There you have it, my peoples. That's the word of the day from Jay Smith. Happy Wednesday to you guys. Tonight I'll be live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is going to be on the regular. This is going to be on the regular. And by the way, throughout the day, today, I will be live. I want to make sure you know this. I'm not just going to be live now and tonight. Throughout the day, you're going to see a lot more of me. So stay tuned, my people. One love to everybody. Again, man, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Jay Smith, I'm signing off. Getting the hell out of here. Let's go get this money.